Hello, Louisiana Beer Reviews Special Edition, Bud Ice Revisited.
Bud Ice, 5.5% alcohol, and it is draft beer.
It's packaged draft. They say it's America's first draft beer to be given the ice brew process. And I always say when I see that on their website, well, what other one did that? I think it's the only draft beer to be ice brewed. Not only is it the first, it's the only. Do you know of any other ice draft beers? I don't.
So, talk a little bit about the ice process for everyone in case they don't know.
Oh, and by the way, this was introduced in 1994. And back in 94, ice beer was like a big thing, you know.
Oh yeah, everybody had the ice beers.
All it is they brew the beer and then they crash the temperature down to freezing in like seconds, and then it makes ice crystals and they filter the ice crystals out.
So would it be safe to say those ice crystals are just water?
Yeah.
So a water vapor coming up to the top. So basically they're concentrating it down like if you would boil
So it makes higher alcohol.
So if you would take like a sauce and thicken it, you would boil it to release the water.
Yeah. So you're getting higher alcohol by just ice brewing it. The Japanese say they came up with that, and the Canadians
Hold
say...
it up, hold it before it spills. Jeez, you're leaning it.
No, it spilled it on my hand. But anyway, either Japan or Germany or Canada came up with it, but it was in the 90s that it got big.
Hold on, time out. Germany, Canada, Japan.
Right.
We're all over the place with that.
Well, they all claiming they came up with the process, because you know in Germany there's icebox. Icebox. Crackling. But anyway, it's not that complicated of a process, and a lot of companies make it. When I was in Genesee Brewing in Rochester, New York years ago, I asked the brewmaster, I said, well, how do they make the ice beer? I mean, do they like scoop it off the top?
So I had another question.
He said, no, they run it through a filter and it catches the ice.
Can we get back to what it is we're doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's what
I have
I'm talking
another
about,
question.
ice beer.
No, you were talking about Genesee beer.
Genesee Ice.
You were right. So, does this start off as regular Budweiser?
No, it's different ingredients.
Oh, and what's the difference?
That's why they don't call it Budweiser Ice. They call it Bud Ice.
What's the difference between the two?
This uses corn and rice, whereas Budweiser only uses rice.
And what other product are they making that uses corn and rice?
Natural ice.
Which is coming in at 5.9% alcohol per volume. So why is this one? Why do you think this one? Like all the ice beers all of them I see are 5.9. Why do you think this one's 5.5?
I don't know. They're probably trying to compete with Ice House, which is 5.5.
Do you think they just don't ice the process as long, and you want to? Because I've noticed that it doesn't have that ice burn.
Oh no, I just think they intentionally making it 5.5 to go right up against Ice House.
By the way, this is a 16-ounce vessel, and in my area, this will run you about 99 cents when you buy it in a 6-pack. So to me, that's a deal, considering how prices are skyrocketing on beer. We were discussing off camera earlier that I saw 12 packs go up $3 in 1 month.
Yeah, because Ice House is 5.5, and it was introduced a year previous to this by Miller, so they had to get on the ball with it. It smells kind of, grain, cereal grains, which is barley, corn, and
in
rice.
this case, rice.
See, they used to include it in the Budweiser family. If you looked on the Budweiser website, it would say Budweiser, Bud Light, so forth, and then this. But then they detached it, and they don't include it anymore. And I think that's because it contains corn, and all the other Budweisers are just rice. So they kind of pushed it on to the side. But if you look on Tap Into Your Beer, which is Anheuser-Busch recipe website, it shows the ingredients, and it tells you what it's made with. Yeah.
Well, the head's dissipated, and what we're left with is something that does kind of look like the corn beer. I noticed the beers made with corn are a little bit more goldener.
More golden. And now, what does draft mean? You said draft, so explain what draft means.
Draft is just beer out of the keg, isn't it? I mean,
It means it's not pasteurized.
okay.
Pasteurized, they heat it up real hot, kill the germs, then it won't go rancid. But now Miller invented that cold brew process. You know, the Miller Genuine Draft, where they never pasteurize it, but they got this filter they put it through. It catches all the bacteria, apparently, and so it's draft. Now some people say draft tastes better, but other people say, yeah, draft beer tastes better, but it gives me a terrible headache and it upsets my digestive tract.
Sounds like they got problems to start off with.
I know a lot of people say draft beer gives them a nasty headache.
I hear that about the old Bud Red.
I know a lot of people say Budweiser gives them a horrible headache, and I think it's the yeast that they use.
Could be.
I mean, this is clean, it's easy drinking, it's not like remarkably great, but I mean, I've been drinking it since '96, and I used to have those bottles that were shaped like ice, remember?
Yeah.
Clear bottles.
Like it was like ice chunked.
Yeah. Only problem with those clear bottles, they used to get skunked. And then sometimes the beer.
And then they went to a dark bottle.
The beer would be kind of slimy, you know.
It was still iced. They went to the dark bottle, and then all of a sudden they went to a standard bottle.
They went to brown glass, thankfully, about 5 years ago, and but they always had the brown glass in the 18-ounce bottles for some reason. But the 40s and the 22s and the 12s, they all went to brown a few years ago. I guess too many people were complaining, you know, my beer's slimy, it's skunked, you know, and they were like, okay, just put it in a brown bottle, it won't happen then. It's nice, I mean.
So how would you compare this to the previous beer review we did with the
well, like you told me, you can't cross styles. You can't cross styles.
Oh, no. We are not crossing styles. We are crossing companies. Crossing companies, and we do that often.
I don't know. The other beer I can't figure out. I don't know why they're trying to do that. You know,
well,
it's a mystery to me.
It's like I said in that review. If you wanted something that tasted like that and it was good, boing.
Yeah, 2 out of 5 sugar cubes. This beer is not that sweet. So if you say I don't like cheap beers because they're too sweet, this one's not too sweet.
It's 2 out of 5. It's lightly sweet.
Bitterness,
that
1 out of 5
sweet.
Yeah, 1 out of 5 hop cones.
Yep.
Yeah, they're similar in the
very similar
in their experience. They're not similar because this is a lager, that's an ale. But
graininess, same thing.
This uses adjuncts, rice and corn. The New Belgium does not. But you know, you could say, oh, this beer is kind of bland. Okay, it's kind of bland. New Belgium's kind of bland, but this is $5.90 for a 6-pack of pint cans, and that one is $9.99 for a 6-pack. $5.90. Yeah, and so it's a much more expensive option for the other one, and you don't get any more value from it. So why would you buy it? And my answer would be, I never would.
Right. That's in some cases you got to draw the lines. You know, that's why you can go buy a single. There's a lot of places out there that'll let you buy singles. I say try that. If you want it, or you know, go to one of your local pubs that may have it. Save spending. You spend what, $3 on a beer at a bar. Well, if they have it, go.
Oh, you can get
it.
singles of this. You can get 22-ounce bottles, like I told you. You can get 18.
I'm talking about the previous beer.
Oh yeah.
I believe in once you find a good beer that you want to drink, you stick with it. You do it too.
Of course.
This is just a public service.
Bud Ice, I was never a super fan of Bud Ice, but I was never a hater of Bud Ice. And I have drunk it over the years, and it's pleasant. Is it better than Ice House? Not really. Is it worse? No. I probably would pick natural ice over those two. It's a little tangier, but I would have picked Keystone Ice over all 3 of those, but that's dead in the water. So Genesee Ice we cannot get, although that's inferior. What other ice beers are there? Milwaukee's Best Ice.
Milwaukee's Best.
That's a good one. That's
probably the best one
Yeah.
that we can get around here.
Mm-hmm.
But we can only get it in quart cans.
Only quarts.
So if you're going to go ahead and buy them, and in my local area, you can get 2 quart cans because they did a deal thing. I think it's $2.25 for one.
2 for, yeah.
If you pick up 2, it's going to be $3.75 with tax. So it's going to run you about $4 for two cans. But if you get those, share one or get ready to invest into that quart because you can't reseal it like the screw on top.
Yeah, the quart Yeah, that's a great beer. Really, it is a really good beer. That Milwaukee's Best Ice and
Milwaukee's Best Ice. Yes.
like I was saying, Old Milwaukee Ice. I bought that up north in Ohio or whatever. They don't sell it down here.
Tastes
That
as
was,
great as its name.
huh?
Tastes as great as its name.
Old Milwaukee Ice is
Pretty good,
good.
great.
It's 6%, but you can't get it here in Louisiana. Never been sold in Louisiana. I mean, there's some other ice beers that they're not sold here. Louisiana, we don't get too many. We get the Bud Ice, Natural Ice, Milwaukee's Best Ice, and well, that's it. We get 3, right?
We still got Ice House.
Oh, yeah, Ice House 4. Sorry, 4. Usually in bottles, Ice House usually, but some cans.
We get
Some
Bud Ice,
24 ounce
Natural
can.
Ice, Old Milwaukee Ice. I mean, Milwaukee's
Milwaukee's
Best
Best
Ice, Ice House. Is there another ice beer?
Mm-mm. No, nope. That's it. That's it.
That's it,
folks.
That's a wrap.
All right. So how do you score this? I'll give it a B, 86 out of 100.
I'm gonna give it a B plus, an 88, because I think it's good and I'm partial, as you can see.
Oh yeah, right. A big Bud guy. Yeah, sure. Okay. Anyway, how often do you drink Budweiser in a year? 5 times or less?
Not a regular Budweiser? Probably
Two.
less.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Probably
saying.
less. I used to drink it a lot, but you know, there were other beers to discover. But it's always a go-to, the red Bud.
You know, I've not had red Budweiser on draft in a long, long time.
I don't think you can find it anymore, honestly.
Yeah, everybody got Bud Light on draft.
Yeah, everyone's going to the Bud Light for some reason.
That's a ripoff. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna. That's a disappointment. I don't know about a ripoff. Well, it probably is a ripoff. Anyway, I remember Carrollton Station had Pabst Blue Ribbon on draft for $2.
They still do.
And that place, Uncle Matthews or whatever, in Harahan had Miller High Life draft for $1.50.
$1.50. You know who else still has a PBR on draft? Oh no, they don't have PBR on draft.
Henry's Bar. No.
You can go. You can on a happy hour. You can go get a 12-ounce can and a shot for $5.
Where?
Robert's.
Oh, it was probably a shot of Kentucky Dale.
I think so.
Blended whiskey. All right. Thanks, folks. And y'all go to St. Louis, Missouri and take a Anheuser-Busch brewery tour.
Or you can go to Houston, or you can go to Jacksonville.
Nope. They canceled all those tours. You can only go to, I think, Merrimack, New Hampshire, and St. Louis, Missouri now.
That's un-American, man.